I gotta be honest, I have no idea what Marvel is cooking with this latest news because we have new updates on an Avenger joining the cast of Spider-Man 4, new characters that will be in Avengers Doomsday, a first look at the Wakanda TV show, and so much more. So let's get into all of this. First thing we're going to cover is a rumor coming from a very reputable source saying that Mark Ruffalo is apparently going to be returning as Bruce Banner and the Hulk in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Obviously, we all want this movie to be more street level, and immediately people are rejecting this idea but I kind of see where they're going with it, even if it is a little bit scuffed. Now, the first thing they could be doing with this is having Hulk be the only person in the MCU that still remembers that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Now, this would be taking something straight out of the comics because when everybody's memory was erased and they forgot who Peter Parker was in the comic storyline, Hulk actually ends up remembering. Now, specifically, it's not Bruce Banner, as you can see in this panel. As you can see here, he literally just looks at Spider-Man and calls him Peter and is like, oh yeah, Bruce Banner forgot, but Hulk doesn't forget anything. Even with the spell, he still remembers who he is. Now, the only problem with this is I honestly don't remember Hulk and Spider-Man ever interacting in the MCU before, even though they were both in, obviously, Infinity War and Endgame together. But I mean, this could be easily explained by the fact that, like, Tony and Bruce work together so much, so obviously Tony probably mentioned to him who Spider-Man is and what he meant to him or something like that, so obviously Hulk definitely knows who Peter Parker is. Now, the second way they could incorporate him into the movie is honestly way stupider, and that is that they literally just have him live up to the Professor Hulk name and have Bruce Banner be a professor at Peter Parker's new university, because we know this movie is going to follow him, like, going off to college and stuff. So I feel like that would just be a way to just shoehorn in an Avenger that really wouldn't be relevant to the plot, but it did say he's rumored to have a pretty big role, so I don't think he'd just be the professor. I think they're going to go with the first option. There's so much more to cover, but quickly drop a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments what you want to happen with Hulk in the fourth Spider-Man movie. Spider-Man Brand New Day's filming also reportedly got bumped up a little bit. It was going to start in August originally, now it's going to begin filming in late July, so only a couple weeks difference, but hopefully this helps them release it on time next year in July. Still doesn't look like this is getting delayed at all, even though Avengers Doomsday now got delayed and will be coming out after this. I'd say the Doomsday delay is probably a big reason they want to get Hulk in this movie, have another Avenger show up in the MCU before Avengers Doomsday. We also have an update on who's going to be joining the cast of Avengers Doomsday, and while the people joining aren't that notable, it really gives us an idea of one of the characters that's probably going to have a pretty major role in this film, and that is that all the cast was seen filming, all the big stars that we know playing, like Shang-Chi and M'Baku and all these other people. Two different actors that played Talakin, aka the bootleg Avatar people in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, have been spotted with the film's cast. And notably, these were the only two people spotted with the cast that weren't actively involved and already announced for the movie, so it's not like it was some huge event or anything. It seems like they are going to be a part of this, and it makes sense that they wouldn't be like big chair name reveals, because most people are probably like, who on earth are these people even? What this does tell us is that Namor is probably going to play a pretty big role in this film. Now, obviously, him being announced alongside all these other, like, new Avengers, Thunderbolts, old X-Men and stuff, kind of seemed out of place. Like, we knew he obviously didn't die and he was going to return at some point in the MCU, but it was kind of shocking to see that he is going to be in Avengers Doomsday, so it definitely seems like he's going to be a major player. Who knows what they're going to do? We are going to have Namor and Sue Storm in the same film now, so I'm sure the memes are going to go crazy about that. I mean, who knows? Maybe his only role in the movie is going to be failing to rizz up Sue Storm or something, and then he has nothing else to do, but it does seem like he's going to have a pretty major role. We're not done with Black Panther and Wakanda related news, though. No, it is not Ryan Gosling playing the character. We did get our first look at the new Eyes of Wakanda TV show, and unfortunately, it doesn't have the style of, like, What If and the character above us here. It looks pretty lackluster in my opinion. We'll get to that in a second though. Now, the show is only going to be about 6 episodes animated, obviously, and it's going to follow this new group of warriors as they go on these missions to retrieve these vibranium items and artifacts across history, and it's going to be with the goal of preventing catastrophes by keeping the hazardous materials in the hands of Wakanda. And it's going to be spanning over decades, so maybe each new episode is going to be like a different time period. Who knows if they're going to be like time traveling or just going to be big time jumps. These are the first preview images, and I can't lie, this leaves a whole lot to be desired. This looks like the most budget show I've ever seen in my life. Like, I am not a fan of this art style or anything whatsoever. I understand Marvel's trying to cut down costs on television. They don't want to spend a whole ton on this show. That's probably not going to be very big anyways, but it's only 6 episodes, and these are barely going to be like probably 10 to 20 minutes long. I feel like you could have splurged a little bit. Now, like I said, honestly, they did spend money on this. This is just a art style they decided on, but I am not a fan of it whatsoever. Now, Ryan Coogler, obviously, who directed both the Black Panther movies and obviously just coming off of Sinners, is a producer on this, just like he is with Ironheart. How much creative input he had on it, we probably don't know, but he is at least backing these shows that are connected to his Black Panther movies and probably giving them insights about, like, oh, here's how you don't mess up the lore of the Wakanda I built up. We've got some updates about the performance of Thunderbolts at the box office that are not very good, honestly, despite the fact that I think this is one of the best Marvel movies we've had in like the last 4 to 5 years. As you can see here, its worldwide total is $355 million. So as of right now, that makes this the fourth lowest grossing MCU film of all time. And yes, it's going to be in theaters for the next couple weeks and stuff, but there's so much more competition now. I don't think this is going to break over any other spots. It's probably going to end up down here, which I can't lie. This kind of has me worried for the future of movies that Disney is going to make themselves and have Marvel make, because Lilo and Stitch, the live action remake that's completely soulless, just came out and earned pretty much the entire run of Thunderbolts in its opening weekend. So this combined with the fact that like previous Marvel movies like Captain America Brave New World, that underperformed, only making over $400 million, and then the last big team up movies like Deadpool Wolverine, over $1 billion, Spider-Man No Way Home, almost $2 billion. Now we know the next two Avengers movies are having more cameos than we've ever seen before, and now we've got Disney pushing out these live action remakes. Again, soulless, just cashing in on nostalgia, making tons of money. I'm really worried the future of Disney's only going to be like remakes and sequels with as much fan service as possible. Okay, that's a rant for another day. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you want to see the new villains confirmed to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day, click the video at the top, or my review of Lilo and Stitch, click the video at the bottom.